I don't have it set up for my TV today, but I have my laptop here, which should be showing me my live stream here any second. Oh, this laptop is so slow. For some reason, my phone would not hook up to the TV. All of this things are going weird lately. Now I got to turn this laptop around so I can see the chat once I have it pulled up. There we go. Load that. And then we'll F11 this. Wait a minute, I thought I stopped you. There we go. Okay. Live chat. F11. Hey, 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 there we go. I can see the chat. There we go. Okay, I have my laptop over here. Oi, oi. Oh. Now what I'm doing today, let me just get myself set up here. Move this out of the way. Let me turn the chat off here. And I'm gonna see if I can't. Mary Jo Mosley. Okay, let's get me organized here. Oh. Okay. All right. Now, I know a lot of people have wanted to see closer up. Sorry about the odd angle, but I'm going to see if I can't get a little bit closer. Yeah, we got snow. Everything's a winter wonderland of white. Only wish it had happened at Christmas, before Christmas. You got 5 inches? I don't know if you can see out my window there. It is a world of white. A world of white. Okay, now. Oh, I don't want this on my friggin' foot. There we go. Okay, what I've done is, here, okay. Okay, here is the strip of everybody's, well, not everybody's, but quite a few of you, of your fabric. Yeah, I'm not, listen, folks, I'm not doing the best today. I woke up to some nasty comments about my throwback videos, and I know I try very hard not to take things personally, but it just happens sometimes. Okay, now here is what I have done this week in the evenings. I have put this is the way this, whoops. Let's just move this here. Okay. This is the pieces that go in between. And I'm going to put the last one on just to show you how it works. Now, let me see if I can do that without over zooming. Okay. Now, I'm already starting another row. Okay. This is, I have my yellows all in different pieces because you need to, when you're using different colors of yellow, you really want to mix them up. Okay, there's nothing worse than having a whole bunch of one color of yellow and then going to a different part of the quilt and you had to change colors. So you might as well mix them up in the beginning. All right, now, this is the last piece. that goes in here. And now, I almost made a mistake there. Did you see that? I went like this, or I went like this. And that's not the way that works, right? You have to know where things have to go. Before you sew, hold it in place, put a pin right where you want it to be. And then, yes, that's the way we're going to want this. Okay, I have to thread a needle because I'm already starting on one other of your things. Okay, let's see what I have here for sewing needles. Well, this one is way too long. And this one looks just right. So how's everybody doing today? It's not just that. It's not just the negative energy of other people. There's a reason why. And before anybody asks, Gracie's laying down quite comfy, having a snooze on my bed, our bed, I should say, because it's hers too. Hang on, I gotta get this. I forgot what I was saying. Okay. It's just that I'm going through a depression period, and it happens. Even though I'm medicated for it, everybody goes through depression periods. So if I was, say, normal, I would still be going through a depression period. Now, can you guys actually see what I'm doing? Let me see if I can just go a little tiny bit bigger. But the thing is I have to hold really, really still when I'm this highly zoomed. Okay. God, I hate cheap thread. And yes, I once again forgot my wax before I sat down. And I am not getting up to get it because I just got everything organized here. So I don't put a knot, as you can see. I just go back through the stitch once or twice. And I go back through it a second time as I move forward. See? Now, that needle is not, or that pin is not in the right place. It has to, can you see that? It has to go through where your last stitches were on your back piece. Oh my goodness. All right, okay, you know what? Give me a second here, folks. And once I finish putting this piece in, I will pop out the participants list and say hi to everybody. So don't say hi yet because it's going to take me a few minutes. Can you see what I'm doing here? This is just a running stitch. The tiny, tiny little running stitches. And when I get about halfway, can you guys see okay? Oops. Right? And now I'm going to go back through the last stitch and then continue on down the line. Tweedle-a, tweedle-a, tweedle-a-dee. I've got you. What you guys don't know is I've gone through a series of stuff recently, and it's not stuff I can talk about, not even with my patrons. So I can talk about it with my patrons. I just choose not to because I don't need to depress other people. All right, so hang on, let's straighten you out, you little. There we go. Okay, so there it is there, and I go back through the final stitch, take my pin out while I make these. And yes, folks, it is winter time, and the older I get, the more awkward I get. So you are seeing, you know, I don't know if you can even see that. You are seeing burns on me, eh? From the wood stove. 'Tis the season. Okay, now. This is kind of an optical illusion. It's one of the reasons it's difficult is because you don't think that should go that way, right? But then we twist it up to the end of the green. Wait a minute. Now, where did my pin go? And you know what? I'm a doofus. There it is. I have something else, Mary Jo Mosley. Gave me, and I've dropped it. Oh, sorry, folks. Oh, this is not easy. Look at this. I should be using this. This is Mary Jo Mosley made this for me, and it's a little pin cushion for my wrist. Look at the fabric. I had a really hard time not taking this apart and using that fabric, Mary Jo. Okay, back to this. All right, here we go. Okay, so I have pinned it to here. And if you notice, it looks kind of off, right? So I just push this down a little bit and line it all up. Okay. And again, every corner should be reinforced with a double stitch on the first. Can you guys see what I'm doing? Because the camera's behind me, so I can't always see. And the chat is taking up the screen of my laptop because I have to read it from a distance here. So, hey, Mountainside Homestead. Okay. It's a beautiful day to be sitting by the fire with my pals. Well, I only do it for, this is actually the things I can't do anymore is knit. Knitting is something I have a real hard time with because it's repetitive motion. This is not necessarily repetitive motion because I'm taking my time, and the rows that I sew are so short, like this far, that it isn't necessarily a constant repetitive motion, right? Okay, so let's go. All right, everybody say hi. So this is ready now for the other strip. I should have ironed it, I guess, but that's okay. That is okay. And when everyone stops saying hello, I will pop out the participants list. Now, I want to see which direction I want this to go in. Okay. I have orange and green at this end. Now, this is how fussy I am. And there's orange here and dark. And there's dark. Oh, wait. Okay, we got to go back. Whoops. There is dark at this end and 2 orange too close together. So this is how I do these things. I just flip this around, and it's going to be dark on dark, yes, but now we have to line these up, right? Like this. Okay. Well, that's wonderful, Laura. I'm really glad you... Okay, I'm really glad you love my videos. Somebody told me today, so why I don't watch you anymore? You're so mundane. And it's like, well, you know what? There's new people that don't, and I'm still waiting on my stovetop thing. All right. Hello, Nat, Kimmy Blackrock, Aloha Seashell, Colleen, Grizzly Gurr, Julie Johnson McGee, Karen Belair, Kathy Ponder, Kathy A. Savato, Laura Supp, Lena K, Missy Royer, Minnesota Farmer's Wife, Julie, Mountainside Homestead, and Silver and Blackie. Whoops, here we go. Let's just pop this back out, back to live chat, and scroll it so I can see the very... Your dogs had bugged me. Well, Gracie's not really a lap dog, eh? Well, she thinks she is. But, okay, now, here's what's got to go. Okay, so these are not going to be, you can't line these up like this. It has to be like this. And since this is already done that way, this is the way we're going to start it. So the next one is, let me show you. This one's going to go here, right here. And the next one is going to come up like this one. So now we look at where we start, and this is the way this is going to be. So this is why it would be easier if I had ironed it, but it would be easier for you guys, okay? Can you see this? This has to fit in there. Do you see how that works? So we're going to start right here. I know. You're going to say, I don't know how you see it. I don't know how you do it. But I've been at this for a very long time, folks. A very long time. And I just, this quilt I've been piecing for 20 years, guys. Yeah, 20 years. Okay, so here's where, okay, hang on a second. Now we got to crack open here a little bit. Whoops. No. That's not what I want. I want to do this. A little bit more. Oh, this phone is so touchy. Okay. So, you see how all my layers are coming together here? And I'm going to, there's the knot on the one side. Well, it's not a knot, but there's the end on the one side. Okay. You see how I have this? These are all bunched together. And you see the thread on, whoops, you see this on one side and this on the other where it ends. They both end. This is where I'm going through. Whoops, I just stuck myself with my pin, my needle. And then I'm going to put 2, back up just a little bit. Oh, come on. There. Whoa. There. That should work. If I can hold in the same place long enough to show you what I'm doing. Okay? No knots. Hey, Edie! Well, patience is something patience is something you get when you're doing something you love. And there's nothing I love more than creating beautiful things with colorful fabric. It just, I don't always have the time to do it because I'm usually so busy working. You know what I mean? Alrighty. Okay. I have Howie doing the grocery shopping tonight instead of tomorrow because he has things going on that he's got to work on tomorrow. And I don't want to take up all of his time. Can you guys see what I'm doing here? See how I went back through that middle stitch? I'm absolutely loving the throwback videos. I have a hard time going back and looking at older videos. I always wondered why more YouTubers don't replay their older videos. Because they get called lazy. And what people don't realize is just because it's an older video doesn't mean it doesn't need to be edited, downloaded, edited, then re-uploaded, delete the original deleted, and the new one put out. I mean, it is work. But it's something I can do 3 or 4 of them in one day and get other work done. So now I'm going to go back through this stitch because it's the end stitch. Let's move you this way here. And then, now you see? Can you see that? And now, see where it ended here? We're going to bring the yellow up just like we would on here. This gets tricky, especially if you haven't cut your pieces precisely. I would rather use a lot of ink and paper printing out new templates to cut from rather than using the same template more than 5 or 6 times because it gets worn down, it gets ripped. It also gets trimmed as you cut, and you don't want it. You want your pieces to be in a precise size. Hey, look, Sybil, how's it going? Yeah, I don't knit and crochet anymore because it's a repetitive motion that the last thing I knit was Edward's cat, stuffed cat, Mr. Bigglesworth. Okay. See, I'm going back through the next stitch. Whoops. But this, if I'm really doing it for hours and hours and hours, yeah, my hands are going to seize right up. But I only do this for about an hour and a half while I'm sitting with you guys. Sometimes I'll do it for about an hour and a half while I'm watching TV with Howie at night. Right? Tomorrow is date night. Sorry, I was pausing to look at the chat. Now I have an older video of quilts past and present, and some of it is really, really dodgy video because, it's back from way back when. But I'm going to put it together with a bunch of my quilts that I've done in the last few years. Now, take this pin out. And then I'll do it, quilts past and present. Again, I'll redo that video. See what I mean? But do you see how the row is actually off center because it's going to be off center? Okay. I am making McGriddle muffins. Got mix put together in muffin tins and loaf pans. Good. You have to send me the recipe. So now it's just a matter of matching up. Now it's just a matter of matching up the yellow pieces with these. And that's what I'm doing now. Okay. So this is something, I'm going to do a couple more, and then I'm going to finish sewing on some stars, because this will get boring for you guys. Cutting sheets for $1.25, and I can make multiple templates from it. Well, yeah, but the thing is I have to pin it to the fabric, right? And when I pin the paper template to the fabric, it, you know, I can cut around it, and it's just easier. It is. It's just easier for me. Okay. Let's get you started right here at the end. It's going to be scalloped. It's going to be scalloped. It's going to be kind of pointed across the top and then scalloped down the sides, if that makes sense. Do I have the book here? I could show it to you. No, I don't have the book handy. But this is a project that I'll, you know, this is a project that I'll probably finish, put on my bed, and fall asleep underneath it for the first time and never wake up. That's how long it's going to take me to finish this, if it ever gets finished. It's a real tough reason why I can't start any more quilts, because I've got a bunch started. I've got to get my wool shop quilt out and get it on the frame before because I think there's masking tape on it, and that has acid in it, and it'll eat the fabric if you leave it on it too long. So now this is something I can sit here and do while I watch TV tonight, because I only have to pay attention to where I'm pinning. So now I'm just going to put that needle through there and set this aside to work on. Might be easier for you to see it like this. To work on tonight. Okay? Now, now I'm going to go back. Where are you? Okay, now whose piece am I working on here? And I'm missing a piece because I set it aside. Oh, come on. All right. This fabric is from Sea Pile. I believe that's Charlie. I'm going to take one out of here because I'll find the other one later. This is Sea Pile. Okay. Now, a little bit smaller, just a little bit smaller. Oh, come on. Don't do this to me. Oops. Now we just want it a little bit right about there. Okay. Uh-oh. I made a mistake. No, I didn't. Okay. Yes, I haven't washed and dried the fabric that came the other day, but it's coming. It's coming. But I'm still working through. I'm still working through all the fabric you folks have sent me and are sending me. Right? Because I got those beautiful placemats and some fabric to go with them. And then flip you up. It's a matter of knowing your angles, folks. It really is a matter of knowing your angles and having a good measuring eye. Hey, Carol, how are you today? So I can't knit anymore. Well, I could if I tried, but I got to save all my hand work for quilting because I have so many of those to complete. Like 4 or 5 quilts. Some of them you've probably never even seen. Yeah, me too. C Pile sent me an entire, like, there was like, I don't know, there was a whole packet of them. There was 5 or 6 colors. And then I got the same one in the green floral in the mail yesterday from someone else. So we're moving along quite nicely. Okay. Snip. I love that. Isn't that beautiful? Right sides of work facing, we'll line them up. Right there, boom. You can hear the, I don't know if you can hear it, but the fire snapping and crackling in the wood stove, and everything's quiet. Everything's quiet. Couldn't live in the city. Well, I could if I had to, but I'm one of those people that I love my quiet and I love being able to yell if I need to. You know what I mean? Without, people calling the police and shit or complaining to the HOA. That's something you'll never see me belong to as a housing association. Can you guys see? Okay. So, yeah, I like this fabric too. Did you get my message, Kathy? You can email me anytime if you just want to talk, eh? Ask Joe Mama. She does it all the time. Well, not all the time. We send emails to each other but once every week or two. Okay. Here we go. Up here like this. Now, sometimes you'll see that this wants to fold inward. Stick your finger under there and tuck that out, or you might accidentally stitch it to itself. I have gotten cards with seeds in them. They're coming and going. I think I've gotten about 5 of them. I've gotten some cucumbers and tomatoes and parsley and carrots and celery. And I'm sorry I haven't done a short video showing them all to you, but I've been going through some stuff, folks, and that's just, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to bring anybody down. I'm just going through it's coming up on the anniversary of my brother's death. We're not getting a lot of sunshine. I'm not getting a lot of sleep. And I'm just mentally and emotionally exhausted right now. Okay. See, I automatically stick it in the arm of the chair. And I got to get used to using this little wrist thing. Alrighty. So Howie's getting groceries today. So you'll see the grocery video for tomorrow, probably. And I've got a few more throwback videos. I've had a few people who don't pay attention to the fact that it says this is a throwback video, and they go, "Oh, I look. When did you dye your hair?" It's like, I didn't. When did you cut and dye your hair? I didn't, you know. Hey, we be jamming. Okay. So this was C piles. Now, folks, if you send me more than one fabric, you may not get to see me sew all of your fabrics, but you will see me sew one. And this is from Mary Jo. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? Okay, now I'm going to put you over here. And now we're going to work on this one. And I love this one. Oh. And I've got to look in here for its mate, because if it doesn't have a name on it, then it's because I have another one in here that does. Let me see. See, I have these all pre-cut, right? There's another one of those from C Pile. Okay, who's this from? This is from B. McDonald. So, alrighty. I love that. Isn't that a beautiful color? I know. I love, but there's black in here and everything. But the beautiful part is, if you do it right, I'm starting to think maybe I should have just kept the yellow in the centers and then did white, because this is going to be a lot of yellow. But then the yellow is just going to, it's just going to pop the rest of the colors, I think. Okay, this has to be. If you don't cut your pieces precisely, then you can't sew them precisely, right? Okay, here we go right there. Can you guys see? Alrighty. And back through. Whoops. Gosh. Next time I sit down, if I don't have wax with me, I'm going to get my butt off my chair and go get some. There we go. Hey, Jazzy, how's it going? No, I'm not. I'm sorry. I meant jamming. These ones I don't have to do a back stitch through, because there's only like 10 stitches in the whole thing. If you think I'm patient with this, my eldest nephew's firstborn, I made him a quilt. That was just a 9-patch quilt. But the border, all around the border, had little people that big, boys and girls. No, there was no hair or anything, but there were shirts and pants and stuff. And they were all holding hands all around the border. And some of those pieces were the size of my baby fingernail. You try and do that. Hey, Frida. How's it going? Alrighty. Start you there. See what I mean? It doesn't make sense sometimes to look at it. It's like an optical illusion. And there is my knot there. And this has got to come right through there. Oh, I'm good. Still sticking things in the arm of my... You're sick, sweetie. What's going on? Oh, that's wonderful, Jammin'. That's wonderful. The loaf pan's worked out. I will send you the recipe I based mine off of. I used bacon crumbles. Okay. I can't remember what we were talking about, but that sounds delicious. Please send it to me because I just happened to put bacon on the list because it's on sale this week. Everybody wants me to join the $50 a week challenge. But if I do that, here's the deal, folks. Then I'm not stocking up on payday. I like to stock up on payday. Like I'm not stocking up today. But I like to stock up when things are on sale. So I don't just buy what we need that week, right? So I'm not sure I can do that challenge. The best I can do is pantry pull meals. And back through, take that pin out. Oh, the McGriddle. Okay. Definitely send me that. Now see how that looks like it's one piece? Remember I told you, stick your finger in there and pull that out, slide that out so it doesn't accidentally get sewn to the inside of these or it doesn't get sewn shut. This is not the work for a beginner, okay? And it's not something you could do on a sewing machine. Well, I suppose you could, but yeah, I think people would be sewing the, you could do it on a sewing machine if you had your pieces cut out and each piece, like paper piecing, and then you just pin it to it and then you sew along these lines with your sewing machine and then cut. But you'd still be it would still be paper piecing. You know what I mean? So there's more than one way to paper piece. How many people are here? I can't even see. I think it says 56. I'm wearing my regular glasses because this is the glasses I use when I'm working on stuff like this. That's what I thought. How you doing today, Sherry? And one more double stitch through the corner. Always reinforce my corners. Snip. See? I really love this project. If all I had to do was keep house and, keep house, like the laundry, dishes, feed my husband, do housework and quilt, I would be a happy camper. But I have you all folks. And I just, you guys have become such an integral part of my daily life. Oh, baby, you got a runny nose and a sore throat. That's been going around. That's what I had. Sore throat and you get like not so much in your chest, but junk in your throat. Oh, feel better soon, baby. Feel better soon. So you'll be getting your grocery video tomorrow, I think. Unless Howie forgets. And it's still snowing. I gotta show you this, guys. No, don't look up my nose like that. Okay. Do you remember when I transplanted Mr. Wilson and James, the sword plant, and I transplanted the sword plant in 3 things? But when I originally brought them home, do you remember Mr. Wilson, my ponytail palm? I'm just looking at it now because this is actually a really good angle for this time of day for you to see it. It had one or two little spiral things, and everything else was broken off at the top. And I had several people say, I don't think you're going to be able to save that ponytail palm. You got to see this. Oops, sorry, my cord is attached. Whoops. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I put it on the top of that stand because the ponytail, the palms go below the bottom of the pot. Isn't that something else? Okay, let's put you back up here. Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't want you to see my belly. Okay, let's... A bit big now. There we go. Yep. And my little one that I saved from John, I should have shown that to you. You can't even tell where he's been tucked in with the other plant. I got to do some plants for my son, Arthur. He wants a couple of hanging plants for his kitchen window. And I understand that, so, but they're short, so I'm going to have to make him hangers for them. So that might be a project. I'm not really good with macrame, but we'll see what I can do. Well, I mean, I didn't do anything. I just love him, right? The problem was they sat in these pots and they were getting eaten by cats, and they were, getting watered on a regular basis, but that was about it. And their pots were too small. So we're doing good. There. Oops. What size of bed do I have? I have a double bed. There's one king size bed in the house, and it's in the guest room in the back downstairs, because that we bought that. Well, long story. Anyway, no, Howie and I both sleep in double beds. I have a spare double bed in my room right now, but it's got to come down, and eventually I'm going to steal the mattress from it. Why do you ask? On how to do a basic stitch. Well, that's basically what I'm doing right now, honey. Can you not see that? Look, it's called a running stitch. You just start, let's start right from here. Pretend we're starting there. We go. And you go, you go one, you just weave it in and out, in and out. And a lot of people think, the tiny stitch in between, your stitches should be about the same side. That's not a good example, but your stitches should be about the same length as the spaces between them. No, it's a double is a full. I guess you would call it full. There's full, queen, and king. Twin, full, queen, and king. Yeah, it's between the queen or the twin and the queen. There we go. Oh, that's pretty. I love fabric. I love that there's flowers and geometric patterns and stripes and plain and... Okay. Now, Here is a basic stitch. It's called a running stitch. And we're start where you start. If you knot your fabric, if you knot your thread, great. I don't. I just go back through the original stitch. I go back through a second time just before I start. Now this is a basic running stitch. Okay. Let me see if I can get this just a little bit bigger without. Okay. I gotta watch the camera to make sure. And you just weave it in and out, whoops, of the fabric, making your stitches about, and your spaces about the same size. Because that makes sure you have an even seam, an evenly strong seam all the way across. And that is your basic running stitch. Just like that. How do I start each row? On the quilt or on here? I start each row by laying out the stars in the order I want them in, color-wise. How do I start each row, or how do I start the stitch? Out. Do you tie it somehow? How do you prevent the thread coming out? Okay. You prevent the thread coming out. I'm going to show you. I go through the stitch, first stitch. See that? And then I go back through it again, and that anchors it. And then I go back through it one more time to start my row. Okay? It's the same. I don't use a knot. You can knot your thread if you want, but knotting threads in a quilt is a pain in the butt later on down the road. Okay, Sherry, feel better, sweetheart, okay? You remember, I keep you in my prayers at night. And then at the end, I just go through several times and snip. It won't come apart because you've anchored it by doing the stitch through several times and then going on from there. Oops. Okay. So I'll show you one more time, Mountainside. Okay, I'll show you again. All right, we'll get a pin and we will pin our fabric. Like that. We'll put our pin in where it needs to go. This is short, but okay, I'm going to show you how I start. One stitch. Pull it all the way close to the end without pulling it through. And then go through the original holes again. And then one more time to start your row. But I'm sure you have patience for other things that I don't. Everybody has their own special talent, And I don't have a lot of patience for a lot of things, but this to me is mesmerizing. This is so relaxing because it's just one little stitch at a time. And out of that comes beauty and service. And you know what I mean? Serviceability and beauty. Okay. I have to cut this thread because it's too short. Whoops. Pin. And then I got to get some thread for this needle. Hey, Linda, how's it going? An ear appointment? What's going on? And now I'm going to turn this. See this, the way this looks? This is the way it's supposed to look. So you need to turn this so that it lines up. See that? So that all lines up. We pin that in place where it belongs to be pinned. And then I got to get some thread here. Oh. Oh. I used to buy spools and spools, 3 for $1 at the dollar store, spools of thread. And then one day I realized that I could buy these serger spools and they would last a lot longer. And they went a lot farther than the cheap 3 for $1 spools. Hearing aids needed their 6-month checkup. Okay, it went well then. Good. Okay. Make sure there's nothing tucked where it's going to get. See, now we start. This is not the best color to show, but we start where we left off over here. And we just do the same. 1 ringy-dingy stitch. 2 stitches. And then through one more time and going across. Uh-oh. Sometimes we get a thread caught in there. And it bungs things up. There we go. Nothing takes more patience than tangling of thread. Because I don't know how many years. Okay, there we go. You're untangled now. I spent just cutting the yarn, cutting the thread. Whoops. Cutting the thread and starting over. But again, this is something that's just, a patience thing. I'm going to do. Now, do you guys want me to start one more after this, or have you had enough? If I start a dark one, I can show you my stitching better. From tracing and cutting pieces about that size, and here you are piecing together a lovely flower. I really like the colors. It's actually a star. It's actually a star. I love this pattern. The first time I saw it, I went, when I can do that, I will consider myself a quilter. And don't worry, sometimes you'll get a little pucker in a corner. Just, it is what it is, right? They're called scrap quilts for a reason. Because you use up scraps. Okay, you through there, boom. Has anybody ever watched the series Blue Bloods? We just started watching it on Amazon Prime. Oh, there goes the snowplow. It's just a snowplow, Gracie. Oh, somebody's feeling perky. Yes. I think we're on season 5. There's like 14 seasons. I am a huge Tom Selleck fan. I love Tom Selleck. Okay. Well, this is the last one of this one, and then we'll go through and I'll let you guys pick out of Mariner's Compass. Oh my God. Yeah, this is the one that said this quilt is the one for me that says, when I get it done, I will have arrived. I'll probably die the day after I finish it, but who knows? Gracie, hush, it was a snowplow. Oh, my bun's coming down. Hang on. My bun is falling out. Take off my ears. I don't know why I just did that. It's coming down because it's on slightly on the back of my head, not. Oh my God. I tell you, folks. Oh, shoot. That's the first time I've heard her bark in 2 days. So somebody's feeling better. Thank God her ears are better. Her one ear. They're all nice and clean. And the wrist cushion, hi Wanda. The wrist cushion was made for me by, you probably will recognize her name in the chat sometime, Mary Jo Mosley. She also sent me, where'd my other pin go? Where did my other bobby, there it is. And oh, there we go. There we go. Put my ears back on. There we go. I'm back. Okay. Now. Oh. You need to make a bargello. What's a bargello? Gracie. What's a bargello? Okay. It's a quilt, honey. I have my, I'm going to use, hopefully if I have enough of any one fabric, I will be also using the extras you send me in my grandmother's flower garden, although I do believe I am almost finished with those. I just have to put them together. Looks like a moving quilt. I would probably get seasick. Just kidding. Just kidding. Alrighty. So I'm going to finish this and then we're going to pick, I'm going to go through. Now a darker color will be the best thing to see the stitches. So, but I'll let you guys pick as soon as I finish this one. Hang on. There we go. I saw once one called Attic Windows, and it, to me, optical illusions are just not are not my strong point. Okay. No, I do not hand piece all my quilts. Most of my quilts are pieced by machine. This is just a personal project that I started 20 years ago that I'm really, enjoying focusing on right now. I need about 9 or 12 shade fabric from light to dark. You know what the best thing to do is go on a fabric site, and they will have gradient fabric that they will have in bundles of shades going from one to the other, There's that running stitch I was telling you about, Mountainside. Now, if you notice I don't yank my fabric, I actually pull, or I don't yank my thread, I actually pull the fabric. And I'm going to go back through and then to the end. And one final time through. Take you off here. And there is our, I like to call this peach. It's very peachy. All right. That was B. McDonald, I believe. C. Pyle and Mary Jo Mosley. All right, now let's go through the bag. All right. Something. This is another B. McDonald. There's that. This is one of mine. My fabrics, pink and black. What colors am I working with here on this row? Doesn't matter, I guess. All right. And there is, this is one of my favorite colors. I like this brown too. This brown and blue. Look at music notes. Carolyn B. But two. And then there's Charlie. So, I got to get Howie to clean my bird feeders. Okay. So, let me see here if I have anything darker to go on. And then there's polka dots. Polka dots, you may not be able to see the stitches so well. Okay, folks. Here is your choices. One, 2, 3, 4, or 5. There's one for Charlie. Yes, I have Pinterest. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. There goes the snowplow coming the other way. Okay, looks like it's a tie between 4 and 5. So I'm going to do 5. Oh, wait a minute. We got, yeah, I'm going to do 5 just because it's going to be easier. All right. I love this fabric. You look at fabrics and go, gee, what would I use that for? Well, quilting is one of those things where it doesn't matter how ugly the colors or pattern are of the fabric, you can make it into something beautiful. All right, here we go. Whoops. It's so zoomed. One stitch. Whoops, and I pulled it right through. Whoops. Little thread caught there. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, Beverly. Let's try this one more time, and if I can't do it, I'm giving it up. Okay, and the third stitch goes back through the first, and we weave. See the weave? Pull. Like that, and I go, whoops. And then I go back through that stitch and continue to weave to the end where the pin is. See? And then one more through the pin. Take the pin out. Oh, my ear is itchy. Oh. And then I go back through that stitch another time. Oh, Beverly. There, you can see that better. Can you see that? All right. I almost did it again. It's got to go like this. You did what? You did what, Kimmy girl? Oh, not quite. What time is it? Eastern Standard Time. Hey, Charles, how's it going? Well, the fire's snapping. Gracie's sleeping on my bed, all stretched out and cozy. And I'm just sitting here watching the snow plows go by and the snow fall, and while I piece my quilt pieces. Live's been, oh my God, we've been on here for an hour and 15 minutes. I'm just going to have to get off here. You guys don't need to see me finish this, do you? Okay. 2:19 in Montana, so it's probably 20 after 4 here. Well, I'll tell you in a second. Oh, God, it says, oh, wait a minute. Started streaming 74 minutes ago. I can't see the time. 4:19. Thank you, Carol. Live started at around 3:15. Oh. And I'm going to get off here shortly because it's that time of day where I just might be getting a call from my grandbaby. And I have my phone on Do Not Disturb. So I don't want to miss it. You know what I mean? Back through. All righty. Okay, folks. So I've given you quite a bit to go on today between making the stars and piecing a row. I'm going to go back to piecing my row here in a minute. Let me just, there's my project on the go. Oh, close up of my face. Yuck. Hang on, I know what to do. There we go. I appreciate everybody's patience with the throwback videos. And with my live streams. I am giving myself, and I've been saying this since November, I'm cutting myself some slack. I'm going to continue to work, but I'm not going to continue to kill myself with work. Does that make sense? So hopefully soon, I've got this weekend, I'm going to be finishing that wall, so that will probably be alive. I'd like to make some scones too, you know. Anyway, folks, I'm going to let you go. I got to go put Gracie out for a pee, and I'm going to make myself a fresh cuppa. I love you guys. Take care. God bless. And tomorrow is grocery video because we're Howie shopping today. Not much. The budget's about $160. We'll see how he does. Take care. God bless.